The following segment is sponsored by Trillium Family Services.
In today's season of giving, we highlight an organization that believes mental health is a fundamental part of overall health and well-being. Here to tell us more about Trillium Family Services, we welcome President Jamie Vandergaan and Vice President of Philanthropy, Dr. Robin Beavers. Welcome, you two.
Thank you.
Jamie, I'm going to start with you. Two-part question. So tell me about Trillium Family Services and how things have changed during this pandemic for you.
Absolutely. Trillium is Oregon's largest provider of children and family mental health services across the state. So our day and residential programs have been open throughout the duration of this pandemic because they provide such an essential service to kids and families in active mental health crisis. So our residential staff have been wearing masks around the clock since early March, as well as following significant infection control precautions. Our outpatient team has always been 100% school-based across 150 schools in Oregon. And so when our school districts transitioned to online learning back in late February, early March, those therapists made this really impressive and immediate shift to telehealth services back then and have been continuing to engage families in family therapy and individual therapy, medication management through telehealth since then. And it really is a huge credit to our school district partners. They made sure families had equal access to laptops and Wi-Fi hotspots and funding ongoing internet access for families that simply would not have had access to this essential medical service without the school district stepping up and making sure they had the technology. So it's been amazing partners across the state.
Right, impressive teamwork. Dr. Beavers, let me ask you, how is Trillium supporting the kids and the families that need your services right now? What are you doing?
Absolutely. So Jamie mentioned about our school-based services, and that's one of the ways that we are reaching out to our families that we serve, along with the clients that are in those programs. And as she mentioned, there's telehealth services going on so that those services can continue even though the kids are not in school. And in addition, we're trying to strengthen some of our partnerships that we have with some of our school-based programs, such as Kairos. We are reaching out to them, working one-on-one with their leaders, trying to find out what it is that their families and their students need during this difficult time. So whether that's a mental health Wellness Wednesday, where we're working with their staff members and trying to make sure that they're okay and have everything that they need, or whether it's just providing any self-care help tips that they need to help their families get through this difficult time.
Right. I think mental health is an issue for even people before this pandemic that didn't have mental health issues. So, Jamie,
Yes.
Let me ask you, how is your staff supporting each other, and how are they dealing with this mental health crisis and helping kids and families that have mental health issues?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always an emotional challenge to be a therapist. It's hard to be in the helping professions, and 2020 has been the pinnacle of that challenge. So we have to look at who helps the helpers, who
Right.
care backs. And so we have adopted a trauma-informed model of clinical care for our kids and families. But I think even sometimes more importantly, we extend that trauma-informed model to how we authentically care for each other and how we authentically care for our staff. A tiny example of that is that at the beginning of each meeting, we do a little check-in where we each go around the room and authentically say how we're feeling. Not, I'm fine, thanks for asking. Really trying to connect with each other about how we're feeling in the moment. And one, that grounds us as a team, but two, it cues us into what's really going on for each other. And so we can check in later and make sure that everybody is navigating okay, because this has been such a challenging time.
Right. Yes. Did you want to add something to that, Jamie?
Yeah, I was just going to say for our staff that are working around the clock with kids in residential care, this is the most challenging, right? And so we were fortunate to be able to offer thank you pay to those staff who are working in inpatient care around the clock with kids and families who are in really acute mental health crisis. But we absolutely, as a community, need to find a way to stabilize mental health funding. It's an essential medical service. Mental health is health. And if we can't stabilize the funding for mental health treatment, then we're not going to stabilize this critical workforce.
Right, right. So Dr. Beavers, we need to support you right now. What is the best way for us to do that?
Absolutely. So there's various ways that you can support us right now. It's the holiday season. So of course we have a holiday giving campaign, which is helping to benefit the clients and the families that we serve. Right now, we just ended a huge gift campaign, collecting gifts for our youth so that they can, those that are in our residential care could wake up to gifts on Christmas morning, as well as those that are in our school-based and other outpatient services to make sure that their families have what they need, especially during this difficult time, to make sure that Christmas, is joyful
Right.
On Christmas. So one way that people can help us is simply just by donating. You can go to our website, trilliumfamily.org/donate and donate. That will definitely help us.
Okay.
The other way that you can help us is volunteer. We have a wonderful volunteer program. There's various ways that you can get involved, whether it's hand making masks that our staff need and our clients that are in a residential care need, or whether it's helping keep up with we have a healing garden, which is wonderful. And although it's limited to the number of volunteers that can go and help out during these winter months, we can need help with that as well. So
Okay. Great.
you can volunteer or donate.
Okay, volunteer or donate. We want to tell everybody, give to Trillium Family Services. We'll have a link to their website on our website, katu.com/give. Thanks, you two. Thanks for all the important work you're doing.
Thank you, and thank you for having us. Merry Christmas.
Same to you. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Stay with us.